Texoma's #1 rated newscast, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 AM.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Rita Cote.
And I'm Jesse Schroeder. We'll get to those stories here in just a minute, but first we want to talk about the weather.
We are following a developing story this morning out of Atoka. 3 people are dead in what authorities say was a double murder-suicide.
Our Madeline Schmidt is live at the scene with more details. Madeline, what happened?
More than 4 decades of an export ban on U.S. crude oil, the Senate finally agreed on bipartisan legislation to lift the ban.
News 12's Peter Zampa has been following this story and spoke with senators and House members about the final product. Crime news this morning, the family of State Trooper Nicholas Dees asked for life in prison, but instead, Stephen Wayne Clark will spend 5 years in prison for Dees' death.
A judge says he'll spend another 7 on probation. Christy Lewis brings us reaction from Dees' family. We told you about a recent rise of vandalism across the city of Sherman. Now it seems the criminals have targeted a nonprofit's storage facility.
News 12's Kristen Nill tells us how this will affect the organization.
2 major motorcycle accidents over the weekend left 1 man dead and another in critical condition.
Chelsea Smith spoke with police about what happened in each crash and a man who survived his own motorcycle crash just a few weeks ago. The federal government will pay the Choctaw and Chickasaw tribes $186 million to resolve a tribal trust land mismanagement controversy that dates back more than 100 years.
News 12's Sean Larson spoke with the chief of the Choctaw Nation and Choctaws to get their reaction. Researchers in California say one of the biggest glaciers near the North Pole is melting at an alarming rate.
As Danielle Nottingham reports, the glacier is so big it could raise sea levels 1.5 feet if it melts completely. A new study shows that small counties are driving the increase the United States jail population.
According to the Vera Institute of Justice, counties with populations of less than 250,000 people hold 44% of the nation's total inmates. Marissa Bazinski joins us to explain how this trend can be seen right here in Texoma. Marissa. It's been 1 year since Ebola was reported in Dallas, killing 1 person there and sparking a panic across the country.
News 12's Kristen Nill spoke with one local hospital and first responders about what has changed since then. A man who posed as a funeral director in Sherman has pleaded not guilty to 6 counts of falsifying records. Travis Mitchell was arrested back in August when police found 2 corpses not being properly stored inside his business, the Serenity Chapel Funeral Service. Police believe Mitchell was embalming the bodies, a violation of state and city ordinances. The Texas Funeral Services Commission says he has never been a licensed funeral director. He's due back in court next month.
4 national groups representing college educators and trustees say they'll fight against a push to allow more people to carry concealed guns on campuses. The groups are calling for the repeal of measures in 8 states, including Texas, that allow campus carry. They say students and professors wouldn't be comfortable discussing controversial subjects if they think there might be a gun in the room. The statement comes amid debate over how to prevent campus gun violence following last month's shooting at a community college in Oregon. Supporters say lawful gun owners should be allowed to bring them on campus for protection.
City officials and business leaders from across southern Oklahoma met at the Ardmore Convention Center to talk about sales tax revenue. Yesterday's town hall meeting was sponsored by the Oklahoma Municipal League. Every other state allows cities to receive a portion of property tax for its revenue. In 2014, Oklahoma cities received over 61% of their revenue from sales tax, compared to Texas, where cities received just under 30% from sales tax and just under 30% for property tax as well.
The city of Durant is getting more than $1 million from the federal government to boost infrastructure and attract business. The U.S. Department of Commerce says the $1.5 million grant will be used to upgrade highways and serve businesses in the region, in part by constructing on and off ramps to and from Highway 75. They say the project could create up to 200 jobs and help recruit new businesses to the area.
The Texas House is set to debate and likely pass a statewide ban on texting while driving. Most of the state's largest cities already have ordinances that cover most of Texas's population. The legislature has passed a similar ban before, only to see it vetoed by former Governor Rick Perry, who opposed trying to micromanage the behavior of adults. Perry's successor, Greg Abbott, hasn't said if he'd let a texting ban stand should lawmakers approve one this session.
It is 6:08. Let's take a look at this morning's Let's Get Social question.
Heather Sarr joins us live in the studio. Good morning, Heather. Oklahoma finance officials say a projected $900 million hole in next year's state appropriated budget is expected to grow closer to $1.1 billion. They say it will jump when adjusted for one-time expenditures used to plug a hole in the current state budget. Oklahoma's Secretary of Finance also announced that cuts to state agencies as a result of the projected revenue failure will likely range from 2 to 4%. The time now 6:06. Wava Danito joining us now. And Wava, what can we expect for our weekend? What are we going to be whipping up today?
Well, today I called it the best Christmas present, BCP, otherwise known as Brussels sprouts, cranberries, and pecans.
All right.
I'm impressed with your pepper salt.
I know. I was just looking at that.
One way.
Yes, is this on your Christmas list
It
now?
might be now.
That's right. Okay, I add my pecans.
Well, it looks really good,
so
and it's
doable.
and it's fairly healthy. I mean,
Yes.
you did have the butter, but
You pop them open and everybody says Merry Christmas. So
is this going to
here,
fly everywhere?
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Pop. Whee! Your presents fell on the floor. But those are Christmas crackers.
We'll get them picked up, and we'll also get this recipe on our website at kxii.com. Thanks so much for coming in.
We'll be
Yay, Merry
right.
Christmas.
We'll be right back. High school playoff football is here with the Howell Bulldogs looking to advance against Edgewood and the Gunter Tigers taking on Grand Saline.
David Reed has the highlights. All right. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. You can always go to kxii.com. We hope you have a terrific Tuesday.